dun 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 dun. What's happening? All right, we're getting projects done today. We are continuing our work on the McFarlane Hellblaster Artist Proof Primaris Space Marine from Warhammer 40,000. That is the goal. We are working on this guy. And we're still having fun. We are still having fun. Since the last episode, I was supposed to pick up some more Tamiya Flat Red. I didn't. So, yeah, we're just going to push this bottle as far as we can. And hopefully it will take us far enough that we can actually kind of get to some other stuff. Basically, I don't know, like, I still have to do basically 2 legs. I still have 2 legs to, you know, just to reestablish some of the base tone. And I only have 1 arm. So the amount of red that I have should be able to get me that far. I'm not sure if it's enough to even start the highlighting process, but hard to say. But yeah, that is the goal today. We're going to get to some more of the pushing some of these shadows back, like we were doing in the previous episode, where, you know, we were just kind of reestablishing the base tones and just, you know, getting everything ready. Again, with the highlight, I'm not planning on doing it in, you know, in the typical fashion in what we do with miniatures, where we have these really big areas of highlights and shadows, you know, going really, really contrasty. We're not doing any of that. That is not the goal. Mainly because of the larger surface of this figure. It just doesn't read right, in my opinion. It tends to look a little funny when you treat these larger scales like the smaller scale. And like you know how, like, for example, on a shoulder pad, how you can have quite a bit of a brighter color and then it pushes towards a dark color really fast, and you have just a little bit of the mid-tone, and on a smaller scale it looks fine, but on the bigger scales, in my opinion, it doesn't really look quite right. And yeah, so we're not going with that. I don't even have the right camera. I'm looking at the camera and it's not even pointed in the right direction. I'm just going to move this a little bit here so I can see my screens. There we go. Might help if I turn on my compressor, I think. There we go. Compressor's compressing. And let's just jump right into it. So I'm going to continue my work today using Tamiya Flat Red with some thinner, a good deal of thinner, because I want this to be more like a glazing on top of where we've laid some of the heavy shadows. I'm going to use a Renegade Chrome to do my my work. And yeah, let me get this out of here. Don't need that in there. It's just my eyedropper, or yeah, my glass eyedropper. It looks dirty as hell, and it is, but it's fine. Probably going to need some alcohol in that just to do some rinse for any brushes. So let's pour a little bit of that. I'm using 70% iso alcohol. I also use the alcohol, the remainder of it, for my flushing of color, just so that, you know, it's thoroughly cleaned, thoroughly. But when you get used to using some more of these solvent-based paints, like Tamiya or Humbrol, which are enamels, but you get used to these kind of, you know, more solvent-based paints, your airbrush is really clean. It gets a nice deep clean. War pigment, airbrush. Yes, we're doing some more airbrushing. So I have some legs. We only have a little bit to do on these areas. Like, for example, like on this arm, you can see how, like, some of the shadow values push pretty far into the main surface. I don't want that, right? I want it more like what we had done in the previous episode, where we push those shadows just a little bit into the recesses, so it's not quite so intense. It's still in some really key areas, but otherwise, yeah, it's not as intense. And that's all I'm looking for. I'm looking for less intensity. Now, we did it on the helmet, the shoulder pads, the backpack, the torso, one of the arms. So we only have basically these three parts to take care of initially. And then, of course, hopefully, I don't know, maybe there is enough red here that we can actually get into some highlighting. For the highlight process, I'm simply going to just use some O-Range X6 Tamiya paint. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and describe stuff while I'm trying to mix my paint. I'm trying to walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, as it were. Which, you know, I'm horrible at. So I'm going to put this arm back, because we don't need this right now. I'm going to put this leg over here, because we don't want to get too much overspray on it. And I actually got some overspray on my container here. You can see there's a slight red shift on here. That's just because of the direction I was spraying previously. I usually have like a little blocker. I use this old box here just to block off some of the area, just so that some of the overspray isn't just going everywhere. Really, when you're airbrushing, overspray. Excuse me. Oh man, throat's dry. Overspray is the enemy. It's the enemy sometimes in your work area. Technically, I should be working within an air hood, but I don't. War pigment. I started using the Tinner X20A to clean out the brush after watching you do the Sister Battle. Never going back. Yeah, it's not like it's the thinner. It does contain alcohol, so it is going to flush out the brush really well, but I really wouldn't just use this, because oftentimes this is often premium price tag, right? Like, this is a marked up value. Like, really all this is like alcohol dilution. And, you know, it's not entirely necessary. Whereas you go to the drugstore or whatever, you can find, depending on where you are, I mean, like, this stuff is like, you know, it's almost the same price as I think that little bottle, and you get a lot more. Like, this is 473 milliliters. This is 250, and I'll bet you these are the same price. So, you know, you're better off just going to pick up like even some 70%, which is a diluted alcohol. It's not quite as strong, but this I've been using this to clean the brush just fine. So, you know, yeah, you're better off just picking up, you know, a 70% ISO alcohol if you really are concerned about, you know, using alcohol and flushing your brush and cleaning your brush and keeping your brush clean. Yeah, I would just recommend just picking up some of this. Don't use your thinner. Now, for whatever reason, I mean, like, you can use regular ISO alcohol to thin your Tamiya colors. Nothing wrong with it. In fact, you can use ISO alcohol with even like Citadel regular acrylic paints. Add a drop or two of Citadel color. Add a drop or two of alcohol to Citadel colors. All it does is just speeds up the drying process for the paint. That's all it does, really. And it helps with cleaning. But I really don't recommend it with those colors unless, of course, you're using synthetic brushes. Synthetic brushes, it's just, you know, it's kind of, you know, it can stand up to the durability rather than, you know, nice sable hair brushes. The alcohol will dry the hairs out. But yeah. So I really don't really recommend using this as your cleaner. You can, by all means. I mean, if this is readily available in your area, it's easier for you to get hold of, well then, you know, by all means, carry on. Again, it's a similar thing. It's just that is a bigger dilution, really. Bigger dilution? More diluted? Diluted? All right, let's get back to work. So I'm gonna take some of my flat red. See if I can actually undo the lid. Kim, hello guys, hello. I use 95.5 ISO, the IPA stuff. IPA. Yeah, well, I have, like, again, I have my 99, but, you know, it's really aggressive, but I mean, like, I don't use it all the time, especially since the 70% stuff is, you know, a little bit cheap. Oh yeah, there's barely any paint here. We're probably not getting too much done with this red today. See, I was going to take off yesterday and go and find some more paint, but turns out my place that I regularly go to was closed. I didn't know they were closed Sundays. I don't know why, but yeah. Anyway, we're going to add a very generous amount of thinner. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's fine. It's quite a bit of thinner we add. Because again, like I said, I want this to be more like a glaze as it goes in. I'm just moving that there. I use this synthetic brush just to quickly mix in the cup. I don't bother back feeding the paint, as it just pretty much just, you know, bubbles and, you know, gets it all over the place. We might have enough paint here to do all the parts. Yeah, when you wipe the brush off, you can see like how thin that is, and it's just flowing pretty much like almost like an ink. And that's the consistency I'm looking for. It flows really, really thin. Of course, with my synthetic brushes, I wipe the paint in the alcohol, but then I quickly rinse it off in water as well, just to get the, you know, the rest of the crap out of it. Crap. You know, the crap. The crap. Warpig, I have 99 ISO for electronics cleaning. Yeah, and that's fine. Again, I mean, like, if you're really concerned about like the strength of the ISO alcohol, you can always cut it with just a couple drops of water in your solution for, you know, your cleaning or your airbrush and stuff like that. And yeah, it's nothing bad's gonna happen. I've been using it for years. I've even used Windex on my brushes. I know a long time ago, a lot of people were so concerned about Windex and, you know, screwing up your brushes and stuff like that. And I've been using it for years, and I have not run into that issue. So I don't know what people are talking about. Disco, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Warpig, I'll give it a go. Airbrush with orky faces, I think. So, as I'm correcting the shadows and pushing the shadows back a bit, what I'm doing is I'm using the airbrush, because see, you can see here on this spot here, I don't know if that shows up on camera very well. Yeah, see, there's a bit of a dark spot where I was just kind of a little overly aggressive as I was laying it in the shadows. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray at an angle so that the shadows remain, but it catches the surface. So for example here, rather than just simply talking about it. So I'm using the direction of the airbrush to achieve my desired result. Yeah, and see that shadow is almost all gone now. So that's all I'm doing is I'm just spraying just right at those spots. Slowly build the color up. So here, like on the lines, the panel lines, I'll probably spray from this direction going that way. So spray it right over the knee. Not too far because I don't want to obliterate this shadow here. And that's all I'm doing is I'm just looking to recede some of the shadows back a bit. That's all the goal is here. So really all I'm doing is I'm just using the contours themselves to guide where shadows should fall. Looking to push them back just a little bit. Yeah. See, it's still pretty intense. We could change that angle just a bit. And so really when you're doing it, all you're thinking about is the angle in which you're hitting things, right? And that's really all you're doing. Genuine Vision. Evening, Way the Brush. Evening, Genuine. Kim, yes, this stuff is the IPA stuff. The one that's for cleaning electronics. I use that to clean my airbrushes for years now. Yeah. Yeah, it's just alcohol. I mean, it's not, again, it's not rocket science. Yeah, I'm changing the angle a bit. I want to push this shadow just a little bit further back. Yeah, see? And just like that. It's a little bit more manageable. Kim, shit, I fat-fingered the word airbrushes. Airbrushers? Yeah, I got you. I got you, man. I hear you. If you've ever seen Kim's hands, they're pretty darn big, so. It's understandable that he fat fingers things. Fat finger, that doesn't sound right, does it? Okay, we're going to fix this shadow here. And so like I said, all we're doing is we're using this red like a glaze, and we're just slowly pushing these shadows back, just refining them, right? So it's like they're nice and clean. They're not so overwhelming, right? Still use a little bit more color there. So again, I'm going to spray at an angle. Just like that. Put another little layer down. Don't think the top of the knee really needs it, but I'm giving the knee a quick little layering here. Now, some of the tricky spots are like on top of the foot, things like that. See, we didn't really push the shadows too hard on the feet, just because of the angle of which one views it. So I wasn't really that concerned about it. This is really more for when we get to the highlighting. I do want to get that one on. I think spraying downwards. So I'm going to move that leg. I'm going to move this thigh up a bit. Just give me a sec. Put that over there. Just like that. Yeah. Yeah, see this area here is kind of a challenge. I suppose I could spray straight down, but then I might get completely destroy that shadow on the panel there on that thigh. Yeah. So I'm okay with that. I'm like, you know, I'm not gonna like sweat that too much. But yeah, I want to get some of this, clean that up. Yeah, we're gonna do this right here. We should have enough paint to get us through this. We should. We should. We might. We might not. Piss off. Sorry, my airbrush hose is not cooperating with me. Let's spray it from this angle. Yeah, there we go. See? So now it's just not so clunky looking. We're just straightening up our highlights is all we're doing, or the shadows really, is we're cleaning up the edges of the shadows. Spray down. Spray just to get a little bit on that panel there. I should spray this way. There we go. See, it's a little cleaner now. Looking a little bit better. Just a little bit. That's all we can ask for. I'm just cleaning up some of this on the back of the foot. Yeah. I am okay with all that. Is it perfect? No. Whoops. Shit, I touched it. Damn it. Oh well. Yeah, we're not looking for perfect. We're looking for done. All right, we're gonna. Also, too, you may recall the last I was using the raw umber transparent to create the shadows, and you know how it finishes kind of glossy. Doing this little layering of this color adds a bit of matte to that, so it actually kills some of that shine on it. And for anybody out there who's like, oh, it's too shiny. The shadows are shiny. Spray up. Change the angle again. Just want to push the shadows just a little further back. Yeah. Just like that. Just clean it up just a little bit. The red looks a little bit more intense. That's just because it's still kind of wet. Although, oh, somebody joined me on Discord. Who goes there? Oh, I'm still muted. Oops. Oh, it's Hale. There we go. I can hear you now, Hale. Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah. Pleasant little surprise this morning. Went into work, and they were like, it's Labor Day, you can go home after you clean up.
After you clean up.
Yeah, after 10, 15 minutes, they paid me for the whole day. I was like, fuck. Yes.
Yeah, that's not bad. Of course, they got a little bit of work out of you.
No, like 15 minutes.
Yeah. So how's the boop today?
Good. I bought the first of the late pack.
Oh yeah, cool.
Don't have it yet to work on, but
Right. Oh shit. Dropping parts now.
I bought the, well, I guess it's not really new anymore, but the current Eldar models of the old one.
Right. I still have mine sitting on my desk. I haven't painted mine either.
You know, I'm just sitting there. And my buddy who's the manager at the GW, or a friend who's the manager at the GW, he's like, why are you buying this one? You already have a Eldar. And I was like, yeah, but I don't have this guy.
Yeah. If he works at the store, why is he asking you what you're spending your money on? Just tell him, ring it up, bitch. Don't question me. Just ring it up, mofo. You question me and my spending habits?
He's actually a good dude.
He
works for GW, so he wants to make a sale, obviously, because GW's like sale ratio, whatever.
Yeah.
He has the highest numbers in the state, so he can recommend, you know, regulars at the shop. You know, you really need.
And people just eat that up. Sounds like they're being manipulated.
Do you know what?
So it sounds like me. I don't know.
I don't know. He just asked me, like, do you really need this Eldar? I was like, no, but I want it.
Yeah. And in my experience, I mean, like, you know, bigger the dude, the harder they fall. Big dudes don't scare me.
No, he was just sitting there because he knows I have, like, Wolfway. And he knows I have Eldar because I've had Eldar at this point before. And he's just like, well, do you really need this? Like, aren't you working on, you know, your other stuff? And I was like, yeah, but I want this.
Yeah. Again, tell him to mind his own beeswax and, you know, just ring it up.
Ring it up.
Just ring it up. Do your freaking job. Ring it up. All I'm doing is I'm just pushing some of these shadows back a bit, because they were just a little too intense.
No. That's not too intense. That's getting the Mountain Dew the Mountain Dew sponsorship.
Spray up here. Yeah. All right. That's legs. I think I'm happy with that. I'm sure I'll find something wrong with them as we progress further along in this project. I'm sure I will.
When you find something wrong with them, 2 years from now, when you look at them on the shelf.
Yeah, looking at them on the shelf, and then, oh, I forgot all about this space. Damn it.
Are you one of those people who, as soon as you paint something, as soon as, like, you go, I'm done, do you go back, or is it done? So, like, you know, like a year or two down the road, you go, I could do this, I could go up a little bit higher, like, on my highlight or whatever. Or you just, like, it's done, never touching it again, unless, I guess, it chips or something.
Sometimes I will go back and touch up this or that, but usually no. Once I'm done, I'm done. You know, it's kind of like when I do painting or whatever, and yeah, once I've considered the piece done, and any other further work, I know I'm going to mess it up. So yeah, that's the hard part though, is when you reach that point, even in miniatures or canvas, any artwork. Yeah, there's a point where you're like, is it done? I don't know. What could I do this? And then you start thinking about it, like, well, if I change this, or I swap this, or I refine this, will it make it better, or will I mess it up, or you know what I mean? And so you just gotta have to hit a point where you go, okay, fuck it, I'm done. You know, you have to kind of hit that point. Otherwise, you'll never get anything done if you're constantly second guessing yourself. You'll never get anything done.
Yeah. I'm that way. Once something's done, it's done. Unless it chips or something.
Right, yeah. Well, touch-ups, yeah, I don't consider touch-ups messing with...
But I learned my lesson the hard way. Like... 2 or 3 years ago, I changed my recipe for orc skin, or just green skin in general. And it involves, like, 6 different colors. And of those 6 different colors, there's like 20 different like mixes.
Alright.
So I had spent like a whole week's worth of time, like every day. My hobby time was doing this one orc model.
Right.
I was like, okay, the skin is done. It's not took a week to get it. Okay, it's done. You know, I got my highlights and then shadows done. Glazed it all to blend it all together. And I was like, this one little muscle on like the back that you can barely see doesn't look right. So I was like, well, that my paintbrush touched it, and some of the layers were still wet, so it kind of like, or like not really wet, more like in that process of drying where it's kind of like tacky.
Yeah.
And peeled like a whole. Second, I was like, oh crap.
Oh man, that
so
sucks.
I learned my lesson the hard way.
Right. Yeah, that sucks.
And that happened right before COVID, so 2019, so 3 years ago. And like halfway to finishing 2 years later. Just because, like, as soon as I did that, like, I didn't really want to work on the models anymore. Did you see the new Caldor mini for Mundo?
No.
Right, so it's just like Ogren, but there is a dude riding on top of him, shooting a gun. And what it reminded me of, what is it? You've seen the Hobbit movies, right?
Yep.
You know how they have those like siege ogres or whatever, where the dudes are like on top and they have like their feet or whatever, like or their chains like move the head to drive the.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that with like foot pedals, and his eyes aren't gouged out. He's just got like this like helmet thing with foot pedals on it that like the guy on top like pushes which way he wants to go. But it reminded me of Mad Max Thunderdome. I forget the character's name. But, like,
Master
the big
Blaster.
dude that had like the little guy.
Master Blaster.
Yeah, Master Blaster. It reminded me of that.
Okay. Well, that's as far as I'm getting with the red. It's all gone now. So, quick little flush. And let's figure out what we're doing next. Because I am all out of red. I don't know if I'm all out of red, but there's not very much red there. And it's Labor Day here in North America, so nothing's open. Well, I don't know about nothing, but...
I don't know anything about Labor Day either. I just know the post office is closed.
Yeah, like any government shit, yeah, it's going to be closed.
It's a federal holiday. It's a public holiday.
Yeah.
To honor the American labor movement and contributions that workers have made to society.
Yeah.
There you go. But if you don't work in the government, you pretty much don't get the day off anyway, so. Yep.
Mr. Kim is working on some Cruel Boys. Cool. I know Scott was bugging about doing Cruel Boys, and I want to, just haven't gotten to it yet. And I don't paint. I'm sure I've said this many times. I don't paint recreationally. So.
You paint for your game or for work?
Yeah.
Pretty much the same. Pretty much the same way. I mean, I do have a few busts and stuff, but one of them is the one that we did for the Patreon paint along.
Yeah.
And then the other ones were just, I guess, practice. But everything else is like, it has to be. The mini has to be for a game. It has to be a game that I want to play. Might not get around to ever playing the game, but in my mind.
Yeah, yeah. I hear you.
Like, I bought the Moonstone minis, and I was like, will I ever play Moonstone? Well, I'll play it at Adepticon a few times, but after that, I have no idea.
Well, another one that I want to get to, because I want to play, I've played the game, and I enjoy the game, is Relic Blade. And, yeah, I want to get my gang done. What's that?
I have the battle pigs.
Oh, you got the piggies? Yeah, I've got the Wraith, or, what was it, Stoneborn? Oh, Wilderkin, that's it. Wilderkin. I've got the Wilderkin, and I've got... Did I get piggies?
I see you have that, like, rock dude.
Yeah, I have the rock dude, and I've done the gnome on the fox. My my sorcerer, my elf sorcerer person, is not yet done. But I got the his last Kickstarter, and yeah, so I've got like
gnomes and stuff.
Yeah, I've got the handbook and everything. It's wonderful, and of course everybody that partook in the Kickstarter, he even gives you a nice little autograph in there. Of course, he gave me a little Sultan dude with the big mustache. Ha ha ha. But yeah, I don't even know what the hell came in this 2-player. What the hell did I get? Looks like there's some piggies in here. It's all sorts of
You
stuff.
got the 2-player set. There's a pig.
Yeah.
There's a fish man. There's a little bit of everything from all the little like starter boxes.
Yeah. The Storms of Corral. Okay, Corral.
Yeah. That's like because there are quote unquote factions, but it's like you either play good or bad.
Yeah.
Or whatever they call it in the game, and
Yeah.
then you can like mix and match.
So yeah, I've been wanting to get some games in and stuff, right? And
Well, the Adepticon,
yeah, well, and
that's,
he's and he's more than likely going to be at Adepticon too. And Sean's a really good guy. He's a really good guy.
I met him at last Adepticon.
All right, one more flush.
In fact, he's the one who gave me my demo.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Well, I've just
the same thing with Aristea. The Infinity like sports gladiatorial combat game.
Oh, Arena Rex? So
No, it's by the people making Infinity. It's called Airstep.
Oh, okay.
But, my demo game was with Carlos himself, which is one of the guys that like runs the company, or is like the face of the company.
Right. Well, the thing that always, impressed me was with Relic Blade, Sean does all the work. He's a one-man show. And it's kind of like, which was impressive with Buddy, who did Drop Zone Commander.
Yeah, well, TT Combat has it now, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that was
a one-man show.
Yeah, that was like a big reason to support it, because it's one guy doing all the work, all the writing, all the sculpting, and it was just it's impressive.
In that game, you really quickly, like Drop Zone Commander, like the line itself just exploded. And I was like, oh, this is crazy, just like one man doing this.
Yeah.
Like,
it's inspirational.
Yeah. I'm not that inspired. It's like, before I die, I want to make a miniatures line, whether it's 3D printed or physical, but it's like, I don't know if I could do like the full game at this point.
Alright. Yeah, we might be able to do a little bit of highlight. Actually, it might not even take that much highlighting to do, because it's really, like I said, like I don't want to push the highlight values too far.
Yeah, because you said you're going for more realistic.
Well, I don't know about realism, but because like this, we will be weathering this guy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's still going to be bright and colorful like a Space Marine, but yeah.
No, I just remember last time we talked that you were, it was, I guess, more grounded, I guess, would be.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he isn't going to have the crazy cartoony GW highlights.
No. There might be a little bit of edge highlighting. I don't know. It all depends how I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like with the edge highlights, a lot of it will get kind of pushed back anyway, because when we get to the chipping and creating the weathering, it's
half of it's going to disappear.
Yeah, exactly, right along, because I mean, like a lot of the weathering on armor and such, right, is going to be along the edges of armor plates, and maybe some big marks along the sides, but otherwise, yeah. So any edge highlighting you do, I mean, the weathering is going to end up taking away from it anyway. So let's just get right to it, I guess. Screw it. Let's see how far we get. So I'm gonna grab my brush. I'm gonna give my O-range a mix. It's off center. Oh yeah.
I've been looking at the Phantom Titan more and more.
What's that?
So I've been looking at the Phantom Titan more and more every time I go on Forge World.
Yeah, I'd love to pick up the Forge World Phantom. I have the old Armor Cast one. But yeah, I'd love to pick up the Forge World one, just to have both. I like the new version of it. It's got so much nice detail versus the old one, where it still has, the older, more curved surfaces.
Yeah.
Feels very organic.
I'm also waiting for Forge World to new SKU or whatever for the because they have the one Revenant with the pulsars, but I want the one with the Sonic Lances. Strictly because I think it looks neater.
Okay.
The head options are a little bit different for each of them.
Oh, that's all my red. I don't have another red, I don't think. No, I have to buy some more.
Oh, it comes with 2 head variant? Oh.
The Revenant, yeah. There's one that's kind of like a Spartan style, and the other one's
okay, so
like a Guardian.
I might get the one with pulsars. I might not wait for the other one to get released. I never read the description. I just assumed it came with the heads that was on the art.
I'm gonna use my brush here just to some in there.
Should look up what's better, Sonic Lances or Pulsar.
They're both really good, but they're both, you know, situational. Pulsars are really great.
I don't want it to fight, you know.
Well, it can fight really in close combat really well because it has stomp attacks.
Oh no, I mean like shooting another Titan.
Well, if you're thinking of Titan on Titan, I'd go Pulsars. If you're dealing with hordes and lots of, you know, infantry and stuff like that, Sonic Lances will decimate them. Or yeah, Sonic Lances. Sonic Lances are the crowd pleasers, and Pulsars are the armor destroyers. Oh, I don't know why I wiped that off. I gotta mix this. Oh wait, I gotta throw thin in there. Fucking hell. I'm on discombobulator. Talking too much. That's what's going on.
No, this is a new faction set. I'm just dumb and haven't seen it. The Kingdoms of Akkad. Because they're one of these like gnomes. Goblin knights. And they're goblins?
So we threw quite a bit of thinner in there.
Mm-hmm.
Give this a nice thorough mix. It is a lot brighter than it was. If I had to guess what color this is more closer towards, I would say something like Wild Rider Red. But it has more orange to it though. So it's not quite like a Wild Rider Red.
Gotcha. You must have updated the Relic Blade website recently, because like a couple of weeks ago I was on here and I didn't see half the models that are on here now.
Well, he's been doing a lot of work lately.
I guess because the Kickstarter's been fulfilled, or is being fulfilled, so now he's just putting everything that was supposed to go in retail.
Alright, I think I'm just going to go for just a quick blast on the front of the head. Greenleaf Terrain. Way of the fuck yeah, hell yeah, nah, yeah, I mean. What? Goddamn, dude, it's too early in the day to be doing drugs like that. Adam. What the fuck, man?
I'm good, though.
Adam might be a bit of a go hard or go home kind of cat.
We'll see. You know, like there's a Thoranic guard, which is like, I think a dwarf, or gnome maybe, dressed up in like samurai armor, but then they have like that Roman legionary the head crest thing that goes like sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pig. But I kind of want these little cod goblins, whatever they are, because
get whatever appeals to you, man. You know, don't worry about like what rules are and.
Well, no, I'm not worried about rules. It's just like, oh, more minis.
Yeah, but I mean, to get into the game, I mean, it doesn't take too much.
No, you only really need like a box. I think it's also one of the few factions in Relic Blade that has guns. I might do it because the pigs are all running and chop them up.
Alrighty. Let's do this shoulder pad. With these, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate most of the color here, but I'm going to try and aim just for this edge. So we get a bit of a gradient going on here and here. And maybe on the main body as well. Might spray this way at it, actually. Not looking for a huge shift in value. Just some intensity there.
The only thing I'm kind of bummed about with Eldar is I haven't played Eldar since 6 or 7. Is, the Altarks kind of come one way.
Yeah.
The Altark, the one with the wings comes one way and the one on the foot comes there's that way. It's no customizability. Oh well.
Well, the other pissers is that the Autark on bike is still the old jet bike, and not the new one, you know.
Well, who knows? Maybe with the new codex, they'll go, okay, new Altark model, and now you get a little bit of options, but who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm building the army now, not waiting to, or well, forward. You know what I mean? Now, so I'm going off the rules of what I'm doing now. But
I think for this highlighting, if I thin down the orange, you know, about the same amount, I might be able to do the same thing as far as, you know, creating this gradient. I don't want to get, again, I don't want to push it too orange, but I mean, if I always go too far, I can always hit this with a clear red and just resaturate it, you know.
I'm surprised about. I know Phoenix Swords are kind of universal named characters, but as far as Eldar goes, on the GW website, like, Sam Han is like what the Ultramarines are. They are the studio scheme for the Eldar. They have not.
I don't know if they're
At
the
least when I
studio
pulled the
scheme.
web store.
Yeah, like a lot of the Eldar models do end up looking either Samhan or Altiok or Uthwi.
Because like when you look at the boxes on the shelves are typically red and white, and I'm just surprised Sam Han does not have a special character.
They used to.
Oh, they used to.
Yeah, because Eldrad, there was Eldrad, Prince Uriel, and Nadu. Nadu? Anyway, yeah. If you ever seen my conversion of a Eldar riding a Viper, that is my Nadu conversion. Because there was never...
So he never had a model.
No, he had rules, but he never had a model.
Gotcha. His Bailton got one with the Foxstone and the Eldar Ranger as a main character.
How does that look on camera? On camera, you can see quite a bit of orange. No, I think that's all right.
What I'm surprised is how many, like, the old battle forces or army boxes have survived. Because you can still find, not necessarily for Space Marines, but for other factions, you can still find those old army boxes.
Yeah.
Like, floating around on the secondary market. can't remember. Was it second or third edition where Eldar had that really colorful codex cover?
Really powerful what?
The really colorful. Eldar having a really colorful codex cover. Was that second or third edition?
They're all pretty colorful. The second edition one is the one with the Exarch on the cover. He looks like a Dire Avenger, and he's
yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's second edition.
Yep, that's it. I want to paint an Eldar army like that. It's like really. That's all.
Put this back over here for now. Don't touch that. Let's do the torso. Kim, I started with Tamiya Hull red as the base for the McFarlane Blood Angel and added more and more flat red to the mix till I had a flat red, then highlighted that gradient with the Tamiya red and a lot more orange than flat red. Wow, what? So I only did a few glazes with the airbrush of it. Looks pretty good. Okay.
I do miss those really bright color schemes from the armies from like second, third. I think it's third edition when they started. Yeah, it was kind of like third edition where the studio schemes and the codex art wasn't as colorful.
Second edition was very colorful. Third edition is when people were like, "Yay, the Grimdark's coming back!" And
maybe that's a project for next year. Eldar Colors like the second edition cover.
The hilarious thing about Eldar is that most of the color schemes and everything like that, that's been well established since first edition, Rogue Trader.
Yep.
So they've all stood the test of time as far as their color schemes are concerned. Whereas even Space Marines have changed color schemes.
Yeah.
But Eldar's always been Eldar.
Yeah, so just looking at the Dire Avenger alt art on the cover and the Swooping Hawks behind them, just he's got like a little yellow or gold, is blue, a little bit of white.
I am okay with all that. Yes. I'm good. Good. Good.
You're good.
Good. Now here's the tricky one. I'm going to put a highlight down on this bottom plate here, but I don't want too much getting on this belt. You know what? We're going to use a bit of a mask. We're going to use an impromptu mask. Where is my impromptu mask? Where the fuck is it? Oh, there it is.
So nice to GW to have a page on their website where I can find the what is it called? Their licensed out stuff. Like there's that website where you can get like the official like art prints and stuff.
Oh, Warhammer art.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've gotten 3 prints from them so far. All good quality. Numbered. I like them. I like Warhammer art. Because there's so many great pieces from way back in the day that I'm nostalgic for. And so, yeah, it's kind of an easy sell on me, getting me to pick some of that old artwork up.
Yeah. That came in kind of right at the end of 3rd, beginning of 4th. Yeah, here's the Eldar 3rd edition codex. I remember seeing that on my wall.
There we go. How does that look on camera? Yeah, there's a little bit in the center there. It's a little bit off color. It will. Let's go here. Too bad. I'm going to get a little bit more on this bottom plate. Right there.
The old Raiders. Other stuff. Imperium.
Better?
Tiny cult. That's all new, isn't it? I will be right back.
Sure. Fuss, not really. Let's try. Okay. At first it looked like I was laying a lot of orange down, but now you can see it's not quite that intense. And like I said, if I push it too far, I can always come back in with a clear red and knock it back. Get those out of the way. Let's do the arms. The arms are kind of a tricky one now. because the arms can be in any kind of position. Where do you place that red highlight, right? Yeah. Disco, Chris, do you use a vent hood when you airbrush? Maybe is it off camera? No, I don't have an air hood actually. Yeah, I should be wearing a mask and operating within an air hood, but no, I don't. Most of the time I don't, because when I'm filming, it's, you know, it's kind of a pain in the ass. But otherwise, yeah, I should be. I don't, but I should be. So, for all you out there, yeah, you should be using a respirator, at least a N95 dust mask, and an air hood when you're airbrushing. I think we're only going to push the highlights just up the forearm just a bit. I don't think I'm going to do a whole lot of highlights on too far up the arm, because a lot of this gets obscured by the shoulder pad anyway. Yeah. And it really is kind of hard to tell which way, you know, like when you pose it, right? Like, for example, if I put a bunch of highlights here and then I have the arm turned this way and it's all shadow here, yet, you know, when I light it, it's going to have a whole bunch of stuff, right? So, like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So, again, which is why I'm choosing not to push highlights too far. I'm also only running the highlight up one kind of side of the hand here, just, you know, for style's sake. Yeah, just like that off one side of the hand. Just for aesthetics. I asked because I'm on the fence with an airbrush and compressor. My wife probably will banish me to the shed. Yes. If you're going to be spraying in the house, in your hobby room, in the basement, whatever, yeah, you definitely should get an air hood. And also some respirator masks. Because, yeah, you don't want to be breathing this stuff in. My office is actually quite dusty because of all this airbrushing. So, yeah. If you don't want to have a huge fight with the wife, then, yeah, don't. Get a airbrush hood. Like they say, happy wife, happy life. I have been married 24 years. Just had an anniversary just last week. And yeah. Again. Who goes there? Oh, speaking of the wife, there she is.
Hey, honey. I forgot you were streaming. Tony bought you fries and a double quarter pounder for lunch.
Okay, I'm going to be done probably in an hour.
Okay. Do you want to pick on your fries down here?
No.
Okay.
I'll get all greasy.
Then I'll eat your fries with everybody.
Yeah, awesome, thanks. Yeah, we're just going to push just a little bit of highlight on the panel here, a little bit on the wrists. Yeah. We still got plenty of color. Still got plenty of color to play with here. Spray down this way. Again, I'm just spraying, just, you know, catch some of those corners and such. Hopefully, I have enough color to do some of the legs. Otherwise, yeah. Kim, I built an airbrush booth with a 70-liter cardboard box and 2 bathroom fans, a couple of hoses, and 3 LED strips. Didn't cost me much. I can switch out the box when it gets all messed up. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, if you don't feel like making one yourself, there are plenty of affordable options out there. I know, like, there's one that's pretty common. A lot of people get. It is, I think it's like $100 and some bucks. I mean, you know, whenever I look at do-it-myself kind of solutions, I always ask myself, what is my time worth? And, you know, the time spent making it, is it equal to what I would have saved? Then, you know, then we'll go that route, right? But otherwise, yeah. Just spraying down this thigh panel here, just get some of the color building up. Put a little bit on top of the knee pad here. Just like so. Yeah. Yeah, it's not too over the top. Spray just a little bit down the feet here. Just like that. Again, it is very, very subtle. It is not a huge shift in color. Yeah. Getting kind of low. Getting kind of low. Frame here, yeah.
Shove some fries in your mouth.
Shove fries in your mouth.
So then you can't say you didn't get any.
Fries. Okay.
You're welcome.
Now I'm eating on stream. That's kind of rude.
as worried as if you didn't get any because we ate them all on you.
True. But that wouldn't shock me.
Tony loves hot mustard. He's never had it.
He's never had hot mustard.
Nope.
Good God. I thought he was in America.
I know.
Land of the free. Home of the hot mustard. I think I'm going to run a highlight down the elbow pad. Just on the back side here. Just a little bit. I think on one side of it. Sure, I'm talking to you guys, not her.
What's that detail? Oh, that's your big sweet story. Oh, what's this one then?
What? You're good. What are you touching?
I didn't touch anything.
Don't touch my shit.
I moved it.
You touching my shit, man.
I am just the giver of fries. And then you don't get grease.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And you're good to repair in the fridge when you're done. Do you even know what you're doing?
Fuck you. What do you mean? What do I even know what I'm doing? Fuck off.
Okay, I got it.
Fucking smart ass. Fuck out of here. It was a good question though. Do I know what I'm doing? No, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm okay with that. It looks kind of, harsh here just because it's drying, right? It looks kind of like that big spot of intensity, but it's fine. All right, time to flush. Disco, food delivery service for real. Yeah. There we go. Dump that out. Actually, I'm going to just pour the rest of this in. But yeah, on the subject of air hoods and such, yeah, if you plan on staying indoors and doing this, in your house, in your den, whatever, yeah, you definitely should get one. Definitely. Okay. Then just give it a quick little wipey view. Yeah, there we go. See, we're already halfway there. We're already halfway there in the cleaning. I actually want to grab a little bit more alcohol. Good God, my hands are just red orange. They're orange. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, we'll throw a little bit more in here. There we go. Now it looks like Tang. I made Tang. Go ahead, give it a drink. Whoop, shit, I almost spilled it all. So like I said, whenever I'm cleaning, I always have my little pipette here, my little eyedropper. Oompa Loompa hands. Yeah, that's what it looks like, eh? It looks like the same color. Anyway, and I use my glass eyedropper here, and I back feed, and I slush it around, mix it up, and then sometimes I'll pull the trigger back because sometimes there's paint up on the needle. And can you see it there? No, not really, because the alcohol's gotten everywhere. But you can see how intense red it got? That's because there's still paint up in that nozzle space. There shouldn't really be too much color left in the brush. Oh yeah, there is. Yeah. So grab a little bit more and continue the flush. I gotta quit running that air when I'm pointing it towards my work area. This is typically how I go about flushing. With water, with alcohol, with Windex. Because sometimes I'll do this with Windex as well. With most water-based acrylic paints, I don't go this heavy with alcohol. Usually Windex is enough. What's happening? And this is usually just how I flush my brush. You can see now it's starting to run fairly clear. And we're just going to give it a quick wipe.
Grocery delivery.
You know, you're getting some groceries. Cool. Alright. So you can see, the brush is mostly clean now. So next I will grab a little bit of, yeah, let's go to Windex. We'll just give it a spritz of Windex. Or glass cleaner, whatever you happen to use. Doesn't really matter. Typically it's just like an ammonia-based product. But yeah. And again, whenever I put Windex in, whether I'm flushing water-based acrylics, enamels, acrylic, solvent-based acrylics, you know, alcohol-based, whatever paint I'm using, Windex is usually enough. And then what I'll do is I'll pull the trigger back and allow some of that fluid to fall into the nozzle, and then pull it forward. Usually, yeah, if you give it a little blast, you can see a little bit comes out. You don't really want to spray the Windex around though.
I'm not cool enough to use Windex. I use the Iwata stuff.
You use what?
Iwata airbrush cleaner. So I'm not cool enough to use Windex.
Well, I mean, like, somebody else was mentioning that they use the XA or the X20A thinner to flush, and I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with it. And using a Wada's product as well, it's probably the similar thing. It's probably an alcohol rinse, but I mean, you know, you end up paying, you know, a fair amount for these kind of products, these name products, as opposed to just going to the source and, you know, just use alcohol. Because essentially that's all these products are, is just alcohol based. Fuck. I just spilled it. Farting around. It's okay. You can see how it easily just cuts right through the paint, eh? Here, I'm just cleaning my palette right off. This is one of those make lemonade situations, right? If you spill your little bit of your alcohol, well, wipe your surface down. In fact, I'm going to use this to spray. There we go. Look at that. We're killing two birds with one stone. I don't even know if you guys can see that. No, you guys can't really see that. I'm cleaning my work area here with airbrushed alcohol. You really shouldn't do this, though. You should, when you're like flushing the airbrush and you've got like alcohol. What?
Like those bowls, containers, whatever you stick the airbrush in.
Overspray container.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just for overspray. And it's part of your flush routine. And there we go. And that's nice and clean. It's ready to go. That's it. Alright, time for a drink. Those fries are making me thirsty.
Those fries? What kind of fries?
Rotten Ronnie's.
Oh. Is that like a local place?
Rotten Ronnie?
Yeah.
Rotten Ronnie's is like the biggest conglomerate on the planet.
Oh, Ronald McDonald.
Yeah. It's Rotten Ronnie's, man. That's what we call it, Rotten Ronnie's.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it's, come on, everybody's familiar with McDonald's.
We call them typically like the golden arches or...
Oh, that's just good brand.
Peas.
That's good branding. Rotten Ronnie's is more apt.
Well, I don't know, because the McDonald's fries do not rot.
True, very true. That is a
More
thing.
like preservative Ronnie.
All right, now we laid a little bit of highlight down. I'm pretty okay with that.
Are you?
But am I? Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I think. Damn, are we on to weathering? We might be on to the weathering. Okay. Yeah, I think we're on to weathering. We'll do it.
And you going pretty quick through.
So I'm
I
gonna
want to
grab.
buy one of those big Blood Raven statues.
You want a what?
Those big Blood Raven statues, like the really big ones.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. There's one that's a deluxe and it has like options and stuff, and the other one is just like a straight up Blood Raven. Yeah. All right.
I mean, they're sold out on the main website, but I see them pop up on like figure collector websites.
Yeah.
Once in a while.
All right. I'm getting my clamping tweezers for clamping, and my spongy. This is just like regular pluck foam sponge. If you don't have pluck foam or whatever, a lot of the old, well, I shouldn't say old, because still some companies that do pewter models, they still give you these sponges in the packs. You can use that. Really, it's whatever this density is. I don't know what the density of this foam is, but it is fairly dense, but it's, obviously very soft. And, oh, yeah, usually big box stores, the quick finishing brushes, which is just a sponge on a wood stick. It's a similar kind of sponge as this, so you can pretty much use those. And yeah, we're gonna begin our weathering. We're gonna use, I don't know, what should we weather it in? Dark brown, dark red, black, gray, gray with a metal. Maybe gray with metal. I'm trying to think, what the hell did I do on the chainsword of the sister? I don't know. I think it was a brown and then metal I used. So maybe I'll go with a dark gray. Alright, I'm going to head over to my area of Tamaya paints. Let's see here. What do I got for grays? I got metal. Yeah, we'll use metals. What metal is this? Chrome silver? No. What's this one? Gunmetal? Yeah, we'll use gunmetal. And let's use German gray. Yeah, maybe we'll use German gray. It's a nice dark gray. It should sit on top of the red very nicely. What else we got here? I got light gray. No, light gray is no good. Yeah, we're gonna go with German gray. Sea blue. Ooh, sea blue. Sea blue. It's nice and dark. It has a slight gray hue to it. Yeah. This is the sea blue right here. On camera, it looks really, really dark.
Chris, did you play Vermintide, Space Marine, or Dawn of War?
Dawn of War, yeah.
Do you like records?
Do I like what?
Records, like vinyl records?
They're fine. I don't collect them or anything, no.
Oh, okay. I'm browsing GW's like a licensed product page.
Oh.
And they have vinyl records of like the soundtracks.
Gotcha. No, I'm not really into vinyl. My brother, he has access to a whole bunch of vinyl and stuff like that, and he found Bolt Thrower on vinyl. Ooh. Yeah, and it's the one with all the Crimson Fist on the cover.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the hell that is. What that album's called?
Dark Millennium.
No, is it?
Pretty sure.
The Bolt Thrower album with all the Crimson, the classic Rogue Trader cover. Is my CD down here?
Oh no, Realm of Chaos.
Realm of Chaos, that's it, yeah. And anyway, he has that on vinyl. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
Dark Millennium is a song in the album.
Yeah, I had Realm of Chaos. Well, I should say I still have it. Realm of Chaos, and I have War Master. Do you think I could remember where the hell those CDs are. I think they're upstairs in my CD collection. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, he has it on vinyl. Take a guess at the price.
Hundreds of dollars.
Well, that's not a guess. Come on, you gotta give me a guess.
300.
300? No, not quite that much. 80.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He probably, I mean, to any really, huge collectors out there of vinyl and of, death metal and bolt thrower and 40K and all that. Yeah, somebody out there is going to pay for it. $80, honestly, to like a collector of this stuff and a lover of bolt throwers music. That sounds like a pretty good deal, really.
Yeah, I see the alternate art for Realm of Chaos where it is not Space Marines. It is kind of looks like Space Marines, but not Space Marines. That's 80, but the other one's expensive.
Yeah. No, I think I'm gonna stick with German Gray. This is German Gray right here. This is XF63. I was gonna go with Sea Blue, but I think we're not gonna use that, as it's really, really dark. And I think I want more. I think what I want is basically more of like the look of like primer. Like the armor has been primed, and then they put the red on. So what we're gonna do is basically we're gonna go with the German. Or maybe I should go with the Seafoam Blue. Fuck. Because I'm gonna put this gunmetal on. Gunmetal's not that bright, because I don't want really, really bright edges. I actually just want this to be fairly dark. I don't know. German Gray should be okay. So I'm just checking out their values, like how much light they reflect. I don't want them to be similar value. Fuck, maybe I should go with the Seafoam Blue. Because I laid this brown down initially, and I thought, it's brown, it's nice and dark. But then when you look at it next to the red, like if you were to look at this in a black and white filter, they'd be almost similar values. The red would be just slightly brighter. Yeah. I think we are going to...
Not super into vinyls, but I have a few. I can buy a few, a couple dozen.
Yeah, I'm going to use Sea Blue. XF17 for anybody who's keeping track at home. I can tell the family came home because holy shit, TV, I can hear rumbling as the TV. Loud. Alright. So yeah, we're going to use Sea Blue. And we're going to begin our weathering process. I'm going to take a little chunk of foam. Yeah, only need about that much. Use my clamping tweezers, the clamps. And I'm going to pick one of the rough edges. I think this edge right here, nice and rough. Let's grab it this way so we get a nice good pinch on it. Oh, shit. Dropped it. There we go. And there. Yeah, just like that. So we got something like that going on. So we got a nice little shape there. Nice rough edges to it. Should give us a very, very interesting look to the weathering. So again, I'm using Seafoam Blue, or why do I keep saying Seafoam? Sea Blue. That's what I'm using. It's a really dark. It's not quite navy blue. It actually has almost like a green quality and a gray quality. It's a really interesting color. That's when I'm going to begin my weathering process. Now, again, the weathering is not going to be, super intense. I'm going to be very selective, and actually I'm going to allow some of the detail of the figure itself to kind of determine where I also lay some of this color down. because like the knees have some slashes in them. Some of the corners on the knee pads are dinged and nicked and stuff like that. It's, you know, it's a little bit of a pain, but, you know, whatever. But yeah, so I'm just going to start with this leg just because we already gave this a thorough mix. And so let's begin some weathering. And the fun part about this phase is that we can just chuck these little bits of sponge and, you know, grab a fresh piece if we need be. If need be. Now, I am just going to use the lid of the pot to draw my color, to grab my gather. But I will dab it on the palette just to knock some of the saturation out a bit. Just so I'm kind of where I want to be on it. And let's go dunk, 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 dunk. Yeah. Grab a little bit more color. This is a process where you always want to maintain a very, very light hand as you work the surface. You also want to avoid uniformity, not laying too much color down. You know what? Here, let's see if I can change the camera angle. Not the camera angle, but camera focus. Let's bring the focus in a bit. Just so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. Let's change it up just like that. Oh, that's gain. Fuck. There's focus. This should give us a better view. Yeah, so you can kind of see what I'm doing there. All right. Now we want to work kind of quickly because I do not want to leave the paint exposed too much. So we've got this big gash here on the knee. So I'm just going to go ka-jook. Yeah. Something like that. Pick that out with more color later. Again, we're not laying a super crazy amount of color down. We will build it up in some areas just so that we can, when we lay the silver down, that it's kind of obvious. Kind of like that little spot there. It's like just big chunks of the paint job kind of missing kind of thing. I also want to avoid repetition. Which leg is this? This is the outside leg, yeah. So yeah, something along those lines. It's not super intense. It's not a lot. also want to avoid uniformity. The bottom of the feet would definitely get a little bit more dinged up, obviously, right? So that's really what we're going for there. I'm going to swap out the sponges. I can feel like this is getting too much paint in it, building up. So get rid of that little spongy. Tear us off a fresh piece. Now, when you're going to get work into corners and stuff like that, you can always tear off and then go for, like, you know, the angled piece like that. And that way you kind of be a little bit more accurate. Or you can go for big, broad sections like that. It's, you know, again, you can just run wild with where you want to go with all this. Weathering is a lot of fun. Reaping burns lots of calories. But yeah, I think I pulled the focus a little too close. Too close. Let's see here. Let's go about, I want to be about here. So we go right there. Yeah. Right there. That focus is good. Okay. Now there's a big scratch on that part of the leg, and you know what? I will use a little synthetic brush. Where's my little synthetic brush? Wait, right there. Yeah, we'll use this one. Give it a quick rinse. Give this paint a quick shake. If you hear machines running in the background, it's because the wife started the washer or dryer. Yeah, so I'm just going to use some of this sea blue really quickly here. I'm just going to dab it right into these scratches. Just like that. Right there. Yeah. There's a bullet impact on the leg over here. So I'm just going to quickly apply it right inside here. And just go whoojink, whoojink, and whoojink. There we go. Put a little bit more color inside there. Feathering, something like that. So it looks a little more like a bullet impact. I think that's really it. Yeah. Now the whole reason why we're starting the weathering now is because some of the other elements on the model or the figure, just rinsing it in alcohol, you know, are not going to be like weathered. Like, for example, oh shit, hit my lamp. Like, for example, the ribbing in the joints and stuff like that, those are going to be pure black, right? So I'm not really worried about those. These areas, like the little doodads and stuff like that, those are going to get picked out in metal whenever we get to it. But yeah. I was thinking that if I was to lay a symbol down or something in the knee pad, then I would have probably wanted to do that first before weathering, but I decided against it. If I really want to do something like that, then maybe, but otherwise I'm not that concerned about it. Anyway, more weathering. More! Let's do more. Where were we? Let's start over here. And so with weathering, I just basically try and like kind of think about like how it would occur on these surfaces, like logically, you know. I know it's kind of a dangerous game to try and play logic with sci-fi stuff because, you know, sci-fi reasons. But yeah. So like a lot of the undersides of things will get little dings and scratches. I'm imagining as he's stepping, right, rocks and things are bouncing up, and you know, you can imagine whatever you want, really. I mean, there really is no wrong way of using your imagination, other than not using it. Thank you. Oh, that's somebody on YouTube's. I'm not on YouTube, am I? Yeah, I didn't think I was.
That's not how you spell your name.
All this time, you don't know how to spell my name?
I'm not seeing a stream up.
Okay. Oop, shit. Hit too much there. Oops. That's okay. Lemonade. Always.
I can spell your first name, Chris, because it's spelled the wrong way.
Say what? That's the right way. What are you talking about?
No, it's the wrong way. I'm just joking, but I don't know, I've been on an Eldar kick. Because now I'm like, that Prince Serial model, even though it's old, still kind of cool.
Yeah. Damn it, I keep applying too much pressure here.
And that's Yamden, so they're all about Wraith construct. Craftwood arm box.
If you make little boo-boos, you know, like I just did here, applying just a little too much color down, you can make it feel kind of logical. Like you're telling a story, like maybe something swiped and scratched this side down, and so, you know, it's just an excuse. Again, it's just making lemonade. When you're given lemons, make lemonade.
Yeah, but the question is, regular lemonade or pink lemonade?
From what I understand, pink lemonade is just food coloring.
Yeah.
So, food coloring?
No, I was just saying, like, if you go and get lemonade, do you get a pink lemonade or regular lemonade?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's pretty heavy on this side, as opposed to this side.
He fell down the stairs at the fortress monster. Picked up his paint job.
Maybe that could be it. Maybe he had a little too much to drink one night and was like, "Oh, boonk."
Yeah. He was trying to outdrink the space wolf. That was his. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I think in lore, like space wolves are kind of borderline functioning alcoholics.
Well, from what I
how
understand,
much they drink.
From what I understand, is Space Marines can't get drunk.
Well, yeah, but I was just gonna because space wolves apparently drink a lot.
Yeah. Well, because that's the game for them, right? Is they drink huge casks of whatever as fast as they can to overload their livers, kind of thing, so that they can actually feel the effects. Something like that, anyway.
Yeah, because their alcohol is a lot stronger than like normal alcohol. so they can try and get drunk.
Yeah. Something like that. Sci-fi reasons. The sponge is already getting kind of gummy. Gummy.
I think my mind's trying to tell me something. I have like 3 tabs of Games Workshop open because I'm really dumb. I keep forgetting that, oh yeah, I think tabs exist. And they all have print serial. I'm like, maybe that's telling me something. Maybe I want it.
Maybe.
I mean, he's just a cool model.
Yeah, he is.
And even though he's a fairly old model, he still kind of holds up. Granted, that's because a lot of the Eldar line is kind of old, so.
Yeah.
At least as far as like foot infantry goes. I think some of the Wraith stuff might be newer. He's fine cast, I think. It's not a big deal breaker though.
No. Oh, I better close this up.
I don't know if they finally figured out, you know, the formulation, so it's not, you know, 80% air bubbles or whatever. But the last couple of fine cast kits I've gotten, I mean, they've all had those like bazillion support structures or whatever, but I haven't had too many where there's like chunks of detail missing because of an air bubble.
Right. Oh, I made a mistake of grabbing that sponge. I got paint all on my fingers.
Which for me at least was the big thing, because
yeah, I never really had an issue with fine cast.
Cutting support's fine. It's like if there's a big bubble that takes out like a good chunk of detail, now that's kind of hard.
Yeah.
I only had that happen when fine cast initially came out.
Yeah, the only thing about fine cast that annoys me, with the material, I mean, it's so light and it's so like it's got a slight flex, but it actually is quite brittle. That's fine. That doesn't really bother me. But what does annoy me is all the extra supports they put in to make sure that they can preserve all those nice hard crisp edges on the model, and so you end up with all these unnecessary little triangular little gates.
There for like an hour just checking over for those little...
Yeah. I talked about that. Oh no, I did it on the blog on the website, and I was talking about, you know, my love of fine cast and how it annoys me.
Prince Uriel's armor black? I can't quite tell.
I think it's a dark blue.
Oh, if it's a very, very dark blue then.
Yeah. Well, because the thing is that his lore is that he's from Iandon, but then he goes off to be a pirate. But then when the Tyranids attack Iandon, he comes back to save the day.
I can't. Yeah, it's like a really dark. If it's a blue, it's a almost borderline black.
Yeah, it is really dark. Like he doesn't wear, like he has the blue yellow scheme going on, but he's not the typical Iandon. You know.
His cloak is like that Iandon blue, and then he has that yellow knee pad and sash and stuff.
Yeah. Let's go. There we go. Yeah. All right, we're gonna play with a little bit of metallics because I want to see how this. I use this blue, and it actually works really well. On camera, it looks really, really dark. It almost looks like I used a black, but it's actually a very, very dark blue. But now I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna with gunmetal and pick out some of the points. Actually, you know what? I'll use this fine brush just to pick out some of these things first. The little scratches. I don't know why they'd be on the front and not the back, but whatever.
The front of what?
His shin guard.
Kneeling, taking a shooting position.
Well, he's got big gouges and there's like a bullet impact on one leg, but whatever. They shouldn't have bothered with trying to put the battle damage in, because then everybody's got battle damage in the same spot. Some people might want like a pristine look, and you can't, like, you got to work to, you know, fill that in, sand it down, whatever. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have done it. They should have just left it. Oh, right, I was going to use my precision brush here. So I'm just using another synthetic fine brush. And I'm just going to put this into the scratches. Yeah, you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. Just like so. So. Very, very minimal. I'm not doing the entire thing. It's very minimal amount of silver I'm using. Just enough to catch some of the light and give y'all the impression of it's bare metal underneath there, right? That's it. Right? Give it a quick rinse-a-view. All right. Now the fun part with doing the second layer, especially in using a metallic, is that even if you miss some of the points where you had laid the darker color down, that's fine, because then that kind of looks like fresh paint has been chipped away.
Yeah, like, because the black kind of can represent, like, I don't know, the primer coat.
Right, yeah, exactly. So.
Or just charring.
And we're using this very, very minimally. Trying to stay within most of the abstract shapes that we had laid out previously, but not being too, you know, precious about it.
What I thought was interesting was when Shadow Sun came out, the new Shadow Sun. They were doing Warhammer TV was doing those like how we painted those in reviews, and that model apparently wasn't like highlighted. I mean, it was shadowed, but they started apparently from pure white as their base coat, and then they shadowed. But all the highlighting where you would expect GW to highlight on the edges is just chipping.
Right.
I thought that was neat. So I've been wanting to try it. I just haven't painted any models that would look good being chipped, because Eldar don't really have things that chip.
No, not really.
I think Wraithbone is kind of just colored that way. I don't know.
Wraithbone is plot. It's whatever it needs to be. It can look like metal, it can look like bone, it can look like whatever.
But, at least in my mind, like, it's not really like a metallic, so it wouldn't like chip like metal would.
It can. Doesn't have to, but it can.
No, I know, but just in my mind, when I sit there and paint like an Eldar model, that's not what comes to mind, kind of thing.
No, I don't envision it any kind of metal, but I mean, there has to be some sort of metals at play because, you know, reasons.
And I kind of want to do that where, like, the base or whatever is the highest color, and then to break up the edges, just like scattered chipping and stuff. I thought it was a neat idea. Will I ever get to it? I don't know. GW, well, there's just in general, other places too. Just so many models, so little hobby time.
Yeah.
going back to Finecast and how it's so light. I remember getting Commander Farsight when he came out in Finecast, and his model, he had to stick like a weight, like an old coin or something, and super glue it in the bottom of his base because his legs were too light to support his torso up, so it would just fall over. Like that, the whole miniature base and all would just like fall over. So I ended up having to weigh him down.
Going a little ham on the tread of his feet, just because makes more sense if that's lots of weathering. This is starting to get a little tacky. Check this. This is sticky. Okay. Time we at? Holy cremolies. Only a few minutes left of the stream. So far, what do you guys think of the weathering?
I like it.
There's a few spots that I'd like to correct, like that one right there. But yeah. Oh, and right there too. It's a little too intense. Chunk. Let's finish off this leg before we call it our day. Let's go like that. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. There's that big run right through the leg like that. It's fun. It's fun. And fun is fun.
So I was talking to Eldar a few days ago. Sounds like if we have that game, we will have an actual council, Eldar Council.
What do you mean?
Hmm?
What do you mean?
Oh, because well, obviously he plays Eldar. You play Eldar. I'm bringing Eldar.
So we're just gonna give them Eldar straight up the arse, or what?
Yeah.
Is that the plan? I'm with it. I'm not saying it's not a good plan.
Yeah.
Just ram it right in their throats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with it. I hear you.
It would be fun. It would be even funnier as if we all. I'm not planning on taking this list, but you're basically copying your Seer Council Jetbike list.
Yeah, the Seer Council list stresses people out to no end, and it's just kind of fun. Just because it's so darn durable. That's the only reason. It's not like it's super powerful. It's not like it, as soon as it's on the table, everybody cowers in fear or anything like that.
It's just annoying.
Yeah, it's just really, really durable. And Eldar, it's the only thing in the Eldar army that, other than the Wraith Knight and maybe a Wraith Lord, that are really durable like that. Because Eldar really don't...
I sent you my list. I did change out some things, like the, added Wraith Blades and stuff.
Right.
But most of my list is like sitting on one side of the table going, there are all these negative modifiers for you to hit me. Try and shoot me. Eldar, I think, said he's just going to bring his usual. From what it sounded like. I don't know what his usual is, but...
Oh, fuck, I fucked that all up. That's okay. Any of those little boo-boos, we can correct. Because all we need to do... Oh, shit. Missed my garbage can. All we need to do is... like on these little areas like where I put a little too much down on, we come in with a lighter red, maybe even with our orange mixture, and just catch some of those bottom angles and make it look like there's a bit of a highlight there and add like a little bit of fake depth to the color.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is it for now, I think. We will continue this weathering process later. I'll probably come back and do a little bit more, I think. Because I'm getting to the point now where I want to see this project get finished in a somewhat timely fashion. Somewhat. But anywho, any final thoughts there, Boop?
Nope.
You have no thoughts going on in that skull?
Aside from Eldar. Coming to the Adepticon, and we have the Way of the Brush event. Play Eldar and stress Matt
out. Have Matt be the only Imperial player there. Everybody else is Eldar.
What was that, Matt? You wanted the Imperial versus Xeno? Everybody brought Eldar.
Yeah, exactly right. Just stress them right out. All right, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Tune in next episode, which will be Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. We'll do another getting projects done, work on some more crap, make things happen, applying more pretty colors, and yeah. Huge thank you to all my patrons. Without you guys and your support, this channel would not be able to do what it is that I do. And of course, thank you everybody who subscribes on Twitch and follows and all that. Huge thank you to all of you. And thanks to Hail Boop for joining me today. Jumping in the voice chat. Basically, patrons are always welcome to join me in the patron-only chat whenever I do these streams. So, yeah. Is that it?
Yeah.
Got nothing else?
No.
No. Okay, give us the theme song out. Sing us out.
All right, let me get it up.
Oh, get it up.
I have to get the lyrics up.
Oh no. Are you gonna rap wet ass pussy? Is that what you're gonna?
No.
Oh. I thought that's how you were taking us out. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I have to play the video because I don't know all the words.
Oh no, you can't play the video though. Because then I'll get then I'll get fucking strikes.
No, I'm not playing it. I gotta have it on my end.
Oh, for the love of God, it got me waiting here now.
Right. Crashing through the night sky comes the fearful cry. Cobra, 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 cobra. Armies of the night, evil taking flight. spreading far and wide. And that's the G.I. Joe part. I don't care about the
Awesome. Well, thank you. That was awesome. That was awesome. In fact, I might even keep that audio clip, and I might use that in other videos. Alrighty, folks. I want to thank you, and I'll see you guys later.